Navigating through the tricky waters of dating and relationships while sustaining a positive mindset can be challenging. In a world dominated by social media, ever-growing sexual desires and underlying insecurities, as founder of Lipstick Stain Passport, I'm on a mission to expose and identify the core principles and bitter truths of the dating world. Travel through the highs and lows with me, Robert Van Tromp, as I highlight and discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly.
We have the very handsome Texan cowboy that is Nathan Webb with us today. And Nathan, first and foremost, it's so nice to see your face. Obviously, we do catch up relatively regularly, but I don't have the pleasure of actually spending too much time with you now you're across the pond.
I know. I've invited you so many times at this point. I'm so over being rejected.
Yeah, I mean, there was that small thing of a pandemic that happened over the last 2 years. If you that, you know that one. Yeah, what was that? You know. Okay, so I guess first and foremost, obviously, quite a life-changing year. We'll start with the Too Hot to Handle.
Yeah,
you know, being a global show, obviously. I guess, first and foremost, you thought you were going on Parties in Paradise. I think we all had a different script of what that looked like. For me, it was a nice cruise liner in the Caribbean. It wasn't quite that. I don't know what your story was.
Yeah, ours was, it was the same thing. A nice little yacht, drinks every day, different islands, women.
And lots of them. Yeah.
Lots of them.
Yeah.
Plenty.
Yeah.
Women.
Okay.
Yeah, that was about it, really. Just fucking getting shit-faced every day on a yacht in the Caribbean. Like, you would say no.
And Nathan was like, sign me up. Thanks very much.
Right now. Appreciate you.
Okay. Well, so obviously the show came out and, well, I guess for all of us, all 15 of us that were involved, it certainly had a level of impact on our lives that has been maybe for some more substantial than others. You know, would you be able to give us, would you be able to shed some light on your experience since Too Hot to Handle and kind of the differences you've seen your day to day?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's changed all of us that we don't. So Carly and I speak about this all the time. We're so busy with nothing to do. Does that make sense? There's no other way to explain it, right? You feel like every day you are doing something, or you feel just so overwhelmed, but when you actually stop and think about it, you're like, I really have nothing to do. You know, it's like you'll wake up and you'll think, no, I got to do a post for so-and-so, and then I got to make a TikTok about something. Yeah. Then I got to do a quick podcast, and then I might have to go and do a photo shoot for an hour. And you're like, I'm just so overwhelmed.
Yeah, this is getting too much.
You know, but looking back, you just go back to when we were working or whatever. You'd be working 8, 9, 10-hour days. So you wake up, like, look at me. It's the first time I've woken up before 9 o'clock in a year. You know, it's hard to explain. It's just hard to explain. The easiest way to say it is we're so busy with nothing to do.
Yeah, and you know what? I actually tend to agree. It's this almost this idea that we have to be on 24/7. But actually, the reality, if we actually had a to-do list of stuff that we have to do every single day, I'm not sure that list would be too long.
It's like, I'm going to make an 8-second TikTok.
Jeez.
Yeah. But it's not just that. It's now people recognize you, people know who you are, whatever. So, you know, you and I have spoken about this. Get away with doing some dumb stuff before the show, right? You could really do it. Now it's damn near impossible because there's a telephone in your face. You know, you go to a nightclub and I mean, I'm drinking or I'm throwing things down or I get angry and I yell at someone, whatever. It's just, just filming you straight away.
Oh my God, is that Nathan Webb from Too Hot to Handle?
Is that your American? That's your American accent.
Oh my God.
No way. Yeah, it's changed day to day for sure. People suddenly give a shit about what you're doing, which is crazy. Online, like Kaylee's just learning about it. Do you know, we did all the media training or whatever about what to respond to, what to not respond to. She struggles. Like when people say stuff, people say shit online all the time, especially TikTok. It sucks. Like don't get a TikTok. If you don't have to have a TikTok,
100%.
Don't go on TikTok.
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
Yeah.
And it is people just talk shit the entire time. And like us, we're just like, nah. We just ignore it. Whereas it's hard. She's responding to every message.
I don't respond to every
for
message.
the most part.
No.
It's just like that's what they want. That's what these people want. They just want to poke you.
Well, I think I back you up. You back me up. There we go.
Do you know what it is? It's always a reflection, I think, of how someone feels about themselves when they're writing.
Yes.
When they're writing these savage comments. I mean, I can't really fathom, to be honest, going onto someone's Instagram or TikTok going, oh, you're ugly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, as they're writing it, like,
you loser,
The only time I think I've ever done that is maybe when I commented on one of your pictures and said you look like Nigel Thornberry.
Which at times, don't get me wrong, I do look a lot like Nigel. So I do.
It's when Nigel laughs. He's like, it's Nigel.
Unbelievable.
Can we edit in when the podcast comes out? Can we edit in like ping, the picture of Nigel next to you?
I'd say we're going to get Nigel next to the passport for the logo. So moving on. So obviously with Too Hot to Handle, like you said, it's been very, very different. You've had lots of people approach you, whether it be online or whether it be in person, like you said, nights out, whatever it may be, out with dinner. And you say that, life has changed. Would you say it's changed for the better? Or would you say...
It depends. I think it definitely has changed for the better just because, a lot of things come with it. Both, financially, so much better. You'll agree. I know Rob won't tell you this, but he actually hit $1 million in his bank account a couple of days ago.
Can I just confirm that is very false information?
Financially, it's a lot better. It is fun. Don't get me wrong. It's fun. There's some of us that love it more than others. When people come up to us in the street, we know those few. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun when people recognize you and people come, because anyone that comes up to you, the funny thing is, all this online shit, no one will come up to you in the street and be like, "You're that ugly one from Too Hot to Handle." Straight away they're like, "Oh my God, you're amazing." So it is a nice feeling, like taking pictures and handshakes and greetings and whatever. It's a lot of fun. It really is.
Wicked. No, I think first and foremost,
wicked.
Great. It's wicked. Yeah, it's great that you're loving that. And I can't imagine, actually, Nathan, I said the same thing to Cam, actually. I can't imagine you're too much of a stranger to a photo. So if someone does want one, I'm sure you're like, oh, no, go on, quick one then. Okay.
Not today, come on, go on then.
Go on then, with every friend, with your uncle. Okay, yeah, we'll make that happen.
She don't want one in the bag. The baby's asleep. Does the baby not want one?
Literally, we're joking, but this is 100% facts. So, obviously, after Too Hot to Handle, I think, in every single man would say, it's been, I think it's been eventful in terms of with the opposite sex. I think anyone that has come off any kind of TV show, and I think it's one of those weird things in life where if they see you on a TV show and then they see you in person, it's almost like you're not a human being, and therefore,
it's so strange. Yeah, because you were this like character in front of them. But that's the same with me. I would say the same thing. Living in Hollywood now, like living in LA, you see these people that you only ever seen on movie scenes or in like television. And it's just you don't believe that this person right here is real. Just in front of you. And that my first experience with that was the first week that Too Hot to Handle came out. I went to train. So I went to a gym with Harry Jousey and Chase. And fucking Vanessa Hudgens was just stood there training. You know what I mean? Like, that was my childhood watching High School Musical. And she's just in front of me training. It was just so weird that this is a real person working out right in front of you. Because you don't believe it. You just don't. And people do the same thing for us. They don't believe that we're real. Because they've seen us on Netflix. So it's as if we live in the TV. Does that make sense? Yeah, we don't do normal things. Like, no way, you eat at Chipotle too? Like, yes, I do.
And
what?
I have to ask a quick question, Nathan. Did you break out into any High School Musical songs when you're with her, or?
This was a close one. You should have heard her screaming though. Because we're all of this
together.
together.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay. So
He said, "Okay."
so obviously, post Dr. Handel, you had, let's be very, very frank here. You had, I guess, a bit of an element of surprise, finding out that you were going to be a dad.
Yes. So this is the weird thing is we only found out. Fuck, when did we find out?
6 weeks ago.
Like 6 weeks ago, right? So she actually essentially was conceived back in May, which is before the show came out. So it's weird to think that since May, we did all of the show launch, we did the first batch, the second batch, did everything for pretty much. Then the show began to quiet down, and then boom, like, oh no, actually I've been pregnant this whole time. It was just weird, just a weird concept that during all of this, Kaylee's been pregnant.
Yeah.
Strange, very strange, which I, right off the bat wasn't too happy about.
No, of course.
Any of it. I don't think any of it.
Yeah, and I think
yeah.
if you're, it's very easy for me to sit here and say, oh, what you were annoyed by it or you were surprised by it. Like, I think any male dealt those cards, it's tricky. I think it's incredibly tricky, and I think that particularly given the situation you were currently in, being on off the back of that show, and I think that we could be very honest with ourselves here and say that there were probably areas that you yourself personally wanted to improve on, and maybe felt that you maybe had let some people down in the process.
Yeah. Shit. Oh, I just woke up.
Don't cry on me now. If you want to, we can edit it out. It's not the end of the world, but
I just, especially with Kaylee, they've over the last couple of years, she had just been pushed to the back burner. She's like, she's always going to be there, so I'll just do what I want. Which, I can't continue to think that way now. It's not like I can just hide her. I can't just keep her in the shadows anymore. So that was one thing. I also, I don't know. You saw on the show all the stuff with Ashley and the marriage or whatever, and I can use that as an excuse forever that I just struggle to settle down, which is true. But again, it's been 5 years since Ashley. I can't really continue to use this as an excuse. So yeah, I just tried to be open about it. I did. I just pushed her away as much as she would try and like drag me in. I was like, no, fuck off. I just kept pushing her away. So it's about just letting someone in, trusting someone again, which is tough, but I'm like 50% there. I still, I tell her when the cat's away, the mice will play. You know what I mean?
The mice are gonna get squished.
So I guess, like you quite rightly said, there were probably areas that you had to improve on. Obviously, being the kind of guy that you are, I think you're a very handsome man, and you're obviously a bit of a schmoozer as well. It's maybe a little bit. No, you are. You are, Nate. Look, at the end of the day, it takes one to know one.
Devil.
And you are a schmoozer. And the thing is it probably was quite, like I said, a big drop of a surprise, an element of surprise when you found out you're going to have a daughter. And you were very transparent. Yeah. You're very transparent with the ways. Very transparent with in terms of wanting to change and to alter your behavior. What kind of behavior do you think were the key areas that you had to kind of put a full stop to?
I think compassion was the main one, because I never felt as though I was compassionate towards Kaylee. And then, like all of my friends will be like, serves you right, you're having a daughter. Because I do. I just have to show, like right now we have this conversation all the time that I don't really feel anything towards my daughter coming, which everyone I've spoken to, like expecting dads or whatever, they're like, nah, that's normal. Because it's not like this. It's the second that you see her, you're like, okay, this little thing is pretty fucking cool. But for right now, it's just a bump in her belly. You know what I mean? Like to me, it's just like,
I'm just getting bigger.
Yeah, you just keep getting fat.
It's just a lot more of Kaylee now. That's what.
Yeah, it's just a lot more of her to deal with. But it is like I want to be able to just show compassion towards her, because I never do. I just always so cold and so dismissive.
I see. And do you think the show had any impact on the way you feel about that, all that?
100%. I mean, you know those little workshops we did, solid. They were a lot of fun. And and off the back of that, I thought that it was going to change me, which it did. Like when I came home, definitely it altered certain ways of thinking. And then, like you say, the show comes out, all these blue checks start DMing you, and you see all these people out, and everyone's just obsessed with you and wants to take pictures with you and wants to do social media stuff with you. And and again, like I'm like, Katie's always going to be there. Just kind of shove her off. You know what I mean? Like she'll be there when I'm done, which maybe she won't be. So I can't have that mentality of she's always going to be there. I can do whatever I want, because I can't.
No, I think it's a very honest, fair outlook on it particularly. And I think that I know you were given a little bit of a rough time on social media about certain things in terms of like, oh yeah, no, he's that kind of guy, and he's going out partying, this left, right, and center. Mm-hmm. And which I still get that a lot. So that's what, again, people, I try to respond to some of those. Some of them we don't. There's so many that you don't bother responding. We're taught not to. Like they were told, we did a whole lot of media training, we're told not to respond to anyone. But sometimes, like if I can correct someone's thinking, then I will respond. So a lot of the time recently, yes, people will see me, like Kaylee's back in Texas, I'm in LA, and I'm fucking drinking tequila bottles and like, and someone I get messages like, how can you be out partying while your baby mama's back home in Texas? Just all this shit. And I'll be like, look, I'm out partying, and thankfully I'm being paid to do so. So yes, she's back in Texas, but this is my way of providing for her.
I'm also a part of everything.
Yeah, and she's also a part of it. People don't understand that you can, like, we'll go out, like tequila brands, whatever, like we all have deals with them. We all have sponsorship deals or whatever. So if I'm out in a club, for the most part, I'm either being paid to be there, or in some way there's going to be like financial gain to doing that. You know what I mean? Not everything is financial gain, and it's great to go out and meet there's great people in LA. You go to a nightclub in LA and you bump into anyone. Like I was pissing in Hyde one time. I was with one of my best friends, Doug. I was taking a piss, just stood there. I don't know if you know him, but Blake Griffin came in, a basketball player, and he started peeing next to me, and he looked at me and went, "You're fucking huge." and then walked off. I don't know what he meant, whether he took a little sneak peek.
Well, I assume he was talking about your body, buddy.
Yeah. It's just funny. Like you just meet a ton of people. So that's why I try and correct people. Like, no, yeah, I'm out partying right now. It's not like Kaylee's just sitting at home crying. It's like I'm calling her. Like she works in nightclubs, so, which she won't be soon. But it's not like she's against nightclubs. She doesn't tell me, no, you can't go out. She's like, yeah, just let me know when you get home. That's all you say is let me know when you get home safe. So that way she's checking that I'm not with anyone. Yeah.
I will fly my ass out to LA.
Sorry, to confirm, did she say I will fly my ass out to LA? Was that
just the ass? She'll stay at home. She'll
right,
just send the ass out.
I just want to make sure I heard that correctly.
Yeah. But it's not like she's just discarded. That's why I try and tell people. It's not like I'm, fuck you, I'm going out. You stay at home and get your cramps and shut up. That's not it. I'm going out. I'm going out for dinner with so-and-so. Then I'll probably go to a nightclub. I'll be home at like 3. Okay, just let me know when you're home.
Cool.
We're just very much on the same page.
No, I think it's very mature of you guys. And I think that, like I said, the reality of your relationship is always not a true reflection on what people see on social media. And
because it's fucking 5%, 10%. You know what I mean? It's like one TikTok a week. Like, come on, how you gonna? It's an 8-second video.
That's it. And you know what? We were told that only Instagram is only 5% of someone's life. The old 95% you never actually see.
No, thankfully, but no.
There you are. So I guess, guys, to finish off, and Kaylee, I would love for you to join in with these games with Nathan.
Oh, I've been playing games for 3 years, Rob. She's used to them.
Yeah, well, that's not happening.
Wow, we did not see that coming.
That's how he copes.
And Kaylee, can I just say that Nathan has done incredibly well and he's definitely punching with you. You're very, very beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I was telling her the other day, she went to the makeup store and they gave her
Shut
the.
up. They gave me the wrong
They gave her the wrong
shade of
color.
makeup.
They gave her the wrong color, so I said she looks like. Remember back in Victorian times, they painted like chalk on their face with the white makeup. So I kept calling her just Elizabeth. Oh, Elizabeth.
Shut up.
She needs one of those frilly shit right a day.
Well, I also don't tan anymore because obviously, so.
Obviously.
Yeah. I think that's definitely a showstopper when it comes to tanning. Okay. So to start with the first game, you're right there, Nate.
I was just thinking of that. What's that geezer's name? Fuck me, that TV host. Is it Dickinson? Dickinson's Real Deal? That geezer. It's fucking just brown. What a guy. What a tan.
Unbelievable.
What a
Okay.
tan.
So our first game is, I'm not sure whether you guys are familiar with Squid Games.
Yeah, I mean, you watched.
What is that?
If you watched that whole show, don't
Look at his face.
You know
He's
what?
like,
I know when Nathan is telling me porkies because his bottom lip always shakes. but anyway, so yeah, this is Squid Game themes, and don't get any ideas. No one's dying here today, but we are, instead of doing red light, green light, we are going to be doing red flag, green flag. Okay. And what I would like for you to do is, I want you to each tell me a green flag moment and a red flag moment. And I want you to tell me, just give me a quick summary of why it's a green flag and why it's a red flag. Doesn't necessarily have to be about each other. We don't want a domestic here live on Zoom. I mean, we can actually, we'll get good views.
I actually had one perfectly ready to go for you. Perfectly ready to go.
This is gonna get violent.
Probably, yeah.
This is gonna get violent.
I do have the perfect one for her. And I'm gonna use it.
Okay, so what we want, like I said, is one green flag each and one red flag each. Kaylee, I don't know if you want to get kick-started with this.
I'm kind of confused, so you start.
What do you mean?
Like, what do you mean?
Just in general of any relationship or me. So it could be a green flag that I have and a red flag that I have.
So, like, good thing about you, bad thing about you.
Yes.
Well, I'd like to think there isn't too many bad things about him, but if we can, I'm not sure how much time we've got left today.
That you could push. Just think really hard about a bad thing that I could have.
He's working through them.
Okay. So,
Take the stage.
so what's the green flag and red flag then, Kaylee?
Green flag, I guess, would be, God, I'm trying to think.
I have one, but I don't know if I can say it. But we'll say it, and then Rob can either be like, yeah, or we'll edit that out.
We'll edit that out.
Yeah.
Green flag, I mean, it's really when he is, like, able to communicate and, like, actually listen to what I have to say. Which, I mean, I'm not the greatest at that either. I think that's something that we both worked through, tried to work through. But I think that's one big thing for me is communication and, like, understanding the other person's feelings. Red flag, his coping mechanisms.
You don't like jokes?
Not when it's a serious conversation.
You don't like jokes?
No, like, I'll be trying to, like, get him to understand, like, certain things, and he'll, he does work on communicating, and that's, like I said, what's my green flag. And then sometimes he's like,
most tits.
that instead of like it'll take me having to say something over and over again, or like some catastrophic event between us for him to realize, how he feels about me, kind of thing. And that's my biggest red flag, is the catastrophic events that have to happen. But
okay, well said, Kaylee, and on to you, Nathan. I feel like we were right in the midst of a relationship counselling here, but Nathan, would like?
Could you sit with a crossed leg with a pad? Like, okay, green flag. Green flag, you're very compassionate, which I lack in, so you kind of rub off on me a little bit.
Oh, excuse the pun.
Stupid. See? That's what I'm talking about.
You're very caring. You go out of your way to help a lot of people, me included. I can lay in bed and be like, Kaylee, pancakes. And they arrive.
That's absolutely not true, and you know it.
They just appear. I don't know where these pancakes come from, but they just appear. I don't Maybe she made them. I don't know.
I am absolutely flabbergasted. and your red flag, please, Nathan.
Be
Oh,
very careful on your words.
red flag.
Okay.
Oh, so.
I don't know. They're probably outside with dogs.
Can you hear me if I do this?
Go on.
So her red flag is she had a threesome with one of my best friends before we got together.
Oh my God. Why would
What?
you? Okay, no. We're going to explain this just a little bit more. My ex that he worked with before me and him started dating.
What?
It wasn't just his best friend. Like, no. This was before me and him even knew each other.
This was before we knew each other.
Yeah. And that whole situation scarred me, by the way. So, scarred me because my, at the time, best friend was the other girl, and she fucked me over in like the biggest way that you could ever, your best friend. So, like, that scarred me. I can't believe you just brought that up. That just.
I mean, first and foremost, wow. I'm not really sure what to say to that.
It was
I
once.
mean,
Yeah,
one time.
I know, it was one red flag. That was the red flag.
It was like 7 years ago. Like, what?
Okay, and before Kaylee knocks you out, we're just gonna finish with our bedroom dilemmas. So our second game, guys. Now,
Oh God.
so now this doesn't necessarily have to be personal, guys. We can move away from the personal discussion on the bedroom dilemmas.
No, let's air it out.
No, I don't think we have to.
He's learning.
Yeah.
He's across the world, and he already knows.
You know what? I think we can scoot it away from that.
No, we're going to continue this. We're going to continue because then that way the baby shower this evening is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Okay, but I can't drink to deal with this. You can drink. I can't. I have to be sober.
And we can go back to the casino after. We were gambling our daughter's trust fund last night.
It was not her trust fund. I would not allow that.
I mean, this has definitely been eventful.
So we're thinking. So I've spoken to a lot of, well, not a lot, but my management team or whatever. They think that, or they've pitched the idea to quite a few different companies and entities or whatever, and like, I obviously don't know how to word things very well, but a lot of people want us to do like a YouTube channel of essentially being shit parents, becoming good parents. Does that make sense? Like just shit parents, and then watching us over the next year or two, just like blossoming into great parents.
I think that would be amazing. I think you guys would do
hilarious, right?
Yeah.
Because you know me, and you're going to see me changing a fucking nappy. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. I think you guys are doing an absolutely outstanding job.
And it's stuff
at the
that
YouTube
people,
and as parents.
It's stuff that people go through, right? It's relatable. That you want.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, our lives are not relatable because they're just not. They're just some of the things we do. Like I have friends come out. Like I just had a buddy come out and join me in LA, and we went to a friend of mine's house, like up in the Hollywood Hills. Strangest thing, we walked in at like 3 a.m. after a nightclub. Dan Blazarian's walking around with a shot tray, just giving people shots. And Zach just nudged me like, it's Dan Blazarian. What do I do? And I'm like, I mean, it's just, we're just so used to this shit now. Do you know what I mean? It's normal when Zach's fucking walking around like, Dan. And so a lot of the stuff we do is just not relatable to people.
I think this has been the most relatable thing for people, though, because we didn't find out till so late, and it was such a shock, and we're just kind of figuring it out as we go. Luckily, we have a huge support system, and that's really helped between my family, his family out there, and our friends and stuff like that. But
people will relate to
it's
us
scary.
if I don't know how to change a nappy. I don't.
You gonna learn.
You gonna learn.
You gonna learn today.
You're gonna be a quick learner.
I did a lot with my brother. My brother's 12, so I'm fairly prepared, but not as prepared as you always talk about having kids, but when it happens, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. You're gonna learn,
Yeah, absolutely. So, do you know what? Let's get kick-started with these dilemmas. So I'm just going to have a quick scan through.
Give us the best ones. You got a nice little studio setup.
Thank you so much for that.
Wow.
Let me
Really
just.
It looks comfy, so.
Yeah, you do have some comfy looking chairs.
This is so hard for me.
Lipstick stained.
Okay, here we go. So, my girlfriend doesn't want to have sex with me anymore. What do I do? Help.
Fuck me. This is unrelatable because I've never had that.
Jesus.
How do I relate to this?
But do you know what? What you've got to do, Nathan, is put yourself in that person's shoes and think about it. And you today will be providing that summary.
Doesn't want to have sex with you. Fuck me. I mean, you probably just got to change up what it is that you're doing, because a lot of that, it's I wouldn't say boredom, it's bringing in new spice. Does that make sense? That if you're doing the same thing every time, we as men, we get away with a lot of things that women will get ready for an hour or two. They'll, make themselves look pretty. They'll enjoy it. They get dressed. It takes them hours. We fucking use the same soap that we wash our asshole with on our face. Jump out the shower and be like, right, love, come on. We get into bed, we fart, we fucking burp. That's just not, women don't want that. They want something new. So starts again with going back to compassion. Not that I do it very often, but you can just be sweet. You don't always have to just be like, oh, love, we fucking.
You would think you'd learn by now too, because you
like
get a lot
things,
more
like
out of a relationship. It's a mentality thing too. It's not just a physical thing. Like, you have to be able to be on the same page mentally and emotionally for you don't want to have that intimacy. I feel like,
little things. Bring them breakfast in the morning.
Flowers
always.
Flowers are a big thing for me, and he knows that, because I get so upset with him.
and that's just a spark. You know what I mean? Rather than you just strolling in naked,
it doesn't take much.
Helicoptering yourself, just walk in with some flowers and be like, "Hey, I really missed you today." Just try something new. Try something different.
That's really sweet. That is actually very sweet of you, Nathan. And actually, I think,
was that about you? That was your question.
No, I can't say it was my question, but I think that person will, if they are listening, will probably benefit a lot from that. And I completely agree. Intimacy, very, very important, I guess, to kind of spicing things back up in the bedroom. And so the second one I have got is
drum roll.
Always wanting the lights off, as I'm self-conscious about how I look.
Oh, that's her.
That's so me. It's just, I hate it. I hate the lights on. I hate it. He wants them on. I'm just like,
it's just, I think with that, it's reassurance, because it's a confidence issue. So with Kaylee especially, she's very conscious of maybe the faces she's making. You know what I mean? Because I mean, it's tough when you're hung like a horse, but
you wish.
She's obviously going to make it.
Sorry, Nathan, are you talking about someone else, or?
Yeah, Jax.
Shut up! Oh my god!
Oh no, we've gone down that avenue again.
No, that's just reassurance and confidence, because she's obviously conscious about the faces she's making, how she looks in different angles, or so that's just reassurance.
I think most girls are.
Yeah.
Self-conscious about certain things like that.
As a man, that's an easy fix. You just raise them up, don't bring them down. You look fantastic. Oh my gosh,
it's really hard now that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I'm just getting bigger and bigger.
And still very beautiful, Kaylee. I'm not obviously hitting on your girl here, Nathan. Nate's going to be like, "He's for real, guy." Like, this guy, like,
thank you.
But
bring him over.
But can I just,
I like the good friends.
Guys, can I just say, it's been absolutely amazing having you both on, and I think that having obviously known Nathan since the show, and I had many a long conversation with him about how he had to change his ways and his behaviour, and I think the man actually, behind all of his his lovable jokes that he makes, there's a genuine lovable man there, and I think you guys are going to make an awesome, amazing parents, and I'm already looking forward to the YouTube videos, guys.
Oh, I can't wait.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you for listening, guys. Please rate and review the episode, and then head over to my Instagram to follow Lipstick Stain Passport, and then send me across your bedroom dilemmas.